do a page.
Okay, this is it. Don't get scared now.
Okay.
What is
I'm
happening,
really
crew?
nervous.
I'm a little scared today. There's
I
just so
know.
much. There's just so much positivity. There's so many good things happening all at once.
We're winning.
Uh, Great to be here with you, Dad. Great to be here with you, crew. Want to send a little reminder to everybody. Uh, been trying to talk to my dad here every day, and we got some awesome irons in the fire we're going to talk to you about. We're not the guys that are going to try to rip you off. Okay, I just want to make that abundantly clear to everybody. That's not what we're doing.
No.
We're the guys who want to learn this stuff with you so that we can hold each other's hands.
Yes.
Period.
That's what
and
we're
go
doing.
have fun and go on lake trips and go to Shasta and do meetups and build our wealth together.
Cruise ships.
That's the fun part for Alan and Brent. It's
correct.
Don't care about rich now. Don't care. Care about this, because this is where the wealth comes from. It's people, man. It's all of you. This is our wealth.
Yeah.
And we're gonna do well because of you. And we just are. It's in the works. And it's I'm so pumped.
I'm so hey, how you doing today, son? Let's open with that, maybe.
So good. I'm not even caffeinated. I'm just really excited.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, it's fun. We're preparing for a video shoot together in a couple weeks. Dad, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, we have we're going to try and do it ourselves. I wish Ron was going to be there with us, but
yeah,
you know, it's a long ways to go, and I don't expect him to do that for us. But we're going to shoot with a professional who's going to teach us all the questions that all of you have about trusts, how to use them, who needs them, who can afford them, who shouldn't even own. You shouldn't even bother if you're in this bracket or that tax bracket, or how much money you have or how much money you're going to get. All of that is dependent on your situation personally and your finances. All of that to say, many of you who have quite a bit of crypto one day are probably going to need the services of this lady who is becoming Brent and I's right-hand person. She's going to be on our show often. I'm going to say a couple times a month, and she's going to help us with all those dumb questions. I was inspired many, many years ago, but in particular about I think it was right around the XRP show in May. Right before May, I started really pursuing trying to find the proper trust company and the people that I could believe in. Well, when I found this group, I wanted to vet them out and make sure that these are the people that I want to share, with my people. Turns out that they really are, and I believe in them and their product. Does that mean that their product is the best product out there? I believe it to be, because I've studied this for a long time, and I found something that I know is definitely going to work for everybody in this group. However, that doesn't mean that you can't go if you already have one or you want to do something else. It's not adjustable. We can figure it out. We can all still be a team. It depends on who you get trust from. It doesn't really matter, because you're always part of the crew. Having said that, I was very inspired by Caleb and Brown, because Caleb and Brown is what we call in the brokerage industry a white glove service. In other words, if you pick the phone up, a human being who speaks English is going to pick the phone up and say, "Yes, sir, Mr. Staple, what would you like me to do with those XRP? Would you like me to transfer it to this bank account, that bank account, a check, cashier's check? What would you like me to do?" That kind of customer service, in particular with AI in the world and where we're going, doesn't necessarily exist any longer. and what Brent and I and Simon, to some degree, with the IBC and the banking concept stuff, and JV and Scott are going to help us all do with that is I want to create a close knit group of people that, because remember, I can just put a link down below and I could just say, hey, hit the link and yeah, I'll get a finder's fee for everybody that goes out there. Mm-hmm. Or I can be with you every single step of the way and I still get a finder's fee. So what am I? I'm out of pocket my time, right, with you. Why? Because I love the Caleb and Brown concept. I love that you're going to have a team. We're going to get other people that are going to understand what you've done because they've just done it. They're going to help you with all those questions. We're going to have a platform and a place for you to come to and say, wow, Ellen, I've got a question for this lady and that person and this person. And I'll get them on the show next week. Or we'll get them on a call, a Zoom call between you, me, and them. And I'm talking about for as long as it takes on a personal level for you to understand what you're getting into, what it's going to do, how it's going to change your life, how it's going to change the financial profile of your entire portfolio the rest of your life. That is what we call true generational wealth, is what we're building here. Okay. It's not just that you got Lambo money because XRP went to $150,000. That's one step of the battle. The biggest step of the battle is how do I keep what I made? And all of you have enough coins. I believe that all of you are going to need some financial help, security. So that's what we've been doing in the background. And I'm proud to say you're right, Brent. We are 2 weeks away from filming. So I'm going to say within 3 weeks, you and I are going to have a live show with a live human being and a documentary type platform of what is a trust? Why do I need it? Who needs it? Who can use it? What tax bracket does it pay off? How many millions of dollars do I need to make before it makes sense for me to own one?
Yeah. That's all I'm studying right now, everybody. So that we can go to somebody that hopefully we can all trust and we can ask the right questions and we can help ourselves learn and get ourselves in the driver's seat. That's right. Like you said, Dad, with the whole package. You know, how do we create something that's we're going to be able to insulate ourselves and our newfound crypto wealth and all the rest of our assets and really be a boss on this thing. Mm-hmm. You know, I think that was the first thing we said today on the phone was how do we all put ourselves in the driver's seat now? You know, the real plan, the real preparation, the real vision and outlook to do this right and secure it and do ourselves services with not just, you know, bleeding out the nose on taxes and all the rest of it. Like we've all been through that. I've mismanaged, you know, crypto gains and investing in them, you know, and it's like, how do I add all these other appendages? How do we put all the right things together? And it's so cool, Dad, that you've put in the research and you've got that mind to kind of go the different directions. Yeah. But I feel like this whole thing is kind of providence too, because the right people are coming to us and the right partners and we have the right assistant and we met the right person in Simon to partner with and do this with. And Melissa's in here. Like, I can't speak any higher of their channel and the content that they put out on Dipito. I really can't. And so this whole thing is just building. Yeah. And and it's how to make us all successful together.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really important because the show that you and I are going to do, Brent, I believe we're going to try and do it on Thursday nights, but it'll be part of this show on Sundays as well because our people are here as well. So we're going to spend a portion of time on each days, but that'll be specific. But where we're really going with this whole thing is not just trust, not just IBC, but we're also going exit strategies.
Mm-hmm.
Because the hardest part about trading is getting in good is really important, obviously. But if you DCA, that's probably the best way to buy because your dollar cost average is going to average out to a great price. But getting out, and that's, I know everybody's, I just had a great conversation with John this morning, one of the listener followers of, of our channel. And he said, oh, well, you know, Coach JB's got this Merlin thing, and this guy's got this graph over on this channel, and this person says all this. And I said, it's not that simple. And it's just not that simple. The more you understand the human being that you're on the phone with, the more information I can get about how old are you? What's your job? What's your housing status? Where are you? Are you trying to purchase a better house or a bigger house or your own farm? Do you want a business? Do you own a business? Are you running a business? If you're 45 years old and you're running a business, you need this, this, and that. But your exit number is also predicated on, well, how many coins do you have? If you've got 20,000 XRP, it's a whole different than if you have 120,000 XRP. That both of those numbers change even with the how old are you and what's your financial situation. Not everybody who has 125,000 XRP is in the same boat. So it takes time for somebody to strategize. You can't just plug that into an AI and have it come out. Oh, well, an AI might be pretty good at it, but like you need to listen to somebody who's been there and screwed it up before a couple times. You know, that's the guy you need, because I'm not going to screw this one up. We're not doing that anymore. Like that, the educational time is done. I've graduated, and we're really going to help everybody the best we can sort this traffic out, because it's traffic jam. You're like, oh my God, everybody's trying to get out the same door, which is one of the reasons why I recommend Caleb and Brown, because they have no liquidity problems whatsoever. Yeah. So when you need to get out, you can get out, or you can just set a price. Oh, like John was saying this morning, it's like, well, I might be out on my boat screwing around catching bass all day, and then, you know, it XRP shoots up to $15 for 10 minutes, and then I get back from fishing and now it's at $9. And what happened, man? I could have got 15. Well, you can, with Caleb and Brown, you could set that number. You can get out of 5% of your account or 10% of your account at whatever number that you choose, in case it just happens to hit it. Boom, it gets triggered. But anyway, I didn't mean to talk about Caleb and Brown the whole time, but I don't even have an affiliate link with the guys, and I talk about them every week. I will one day, I guess. I don't know. They keep calling me, but I don't know. We haven't been able to get an appointment going. But if there is an affiliate link, it'll save you money one day, I guess, is the one thing I would say.
I love that. That whole thing, you know, we're all going to need help and each other's opinions and takes on it. And like Dad and I attacking this trust thing, you know, just like you guys have attacked IBC, you know, it's like if we can gain a mastery of it, hopefully we can be able to talk to anybody. Like you said, Dad, like if you all have like a trust already set up, but you're curious about something, or you want to learn about something, or, you know, we want to be people that you can come and talk to. We want to deal with you in the future. And it's up to us to find the right help and the right people that we all can trust. And it's like, okay, here's what we're getting into.
Yeah.
You're welcome to join on that. Or, you know, we just continue to try to educate on the whole thing. I've already learned so much just that I never even knew about. If I had $1 bajillion dollars tomorrow, I would know how to manage it. And getting into all this and what we're discussing, it's like, man, okay, there's a
Yeah.
plan. There's a plan of how to manage it.
Yeah.
And I'm just so encouraged by the direction that we're going in here, Dad. It's really good.
You might not know that. Okay, this is good. One of the situations and scenarios, like let's say you can get out and you end up with $1 million. There's all kinds of people that think $1 million is a lot of money, and maybe it is where you live, or maybe you can pull that off. Maybe that pays for your farm. You're out of that, and then you still have $600,000 or $700,000 to where you can put to work for you. That's the sweet spot. It's that residual income or that staking coins or that DeFi that is the next step after you've secured your gains to some degree when you got out with that 5 or 10%. And then the other 50% or 75% of your wealth can still be sitting in there waiting for the day when XRP in particular, many other coins, go to from 50 to 500. That's, maybe you're younger and you've got that home run waiting. You would never sell all of your XRP because you just don't know that one day it couldn't go to 10,000 and you got 1,000 of them. That's 10 million bucks. Like, you don't know what it's going to do in the future. So what you want to do is get money that's covering your nut every week, every month. And that's your residual, and that's your staking money. And that's the kind of concepts and strategies that you can work in with a trust, with IBC banking. You can become your own banker, and then you can have it all going through your trust. And then now you're in a position of a foundation of an island. You're secure. It's not like you're being hassled by the 3-letter agencies who want their cut constantly. You're able to grow and defer your taxes later out into time, 50 years or generations from now. And then now you have that working capital that you know how to do because you've got Patriot said, my thoughts on XDC. I think it's an incredible project. You own that for a reason. It's not incredible this week, but you bought that with at least a time frame of 5 to 10 years, I'm guessing, right? Well, 5 years from now, what do I think Quincy's going to do with XDC? A lot is the answer to that.
A lot.
He's like, and it's bigger than just, it's bigger than what just Quincy knows about what's going to happen. It's who's going to buy XDC. Who's going to secure that? More than likely Ripple. Why do you say Ripple? Because they have billions of coins of XRP. And when that thing goes to $10 a coin, they're going to have $10 billion. Do you understand? Like, two of the richest men in the world are going to be Garlinghouse and Larson. Period. I'm telling you, that's going to happen in your lifetime. Those two men are going to be known as some of the richest men in the world. Well, what are they going to do with tens of hundreds of billions of dollars? They're going to buy XDC. That's what they're going to do because it's downline. It's what they're working on. It's part of their project. It's creating a decentralized network, but they need the pieces to pull it all off in every avenue of finance. Where you guys are at?
Everything you just said about it, Dad, it's the one I'm looking at to DCA now, basically, personally, because I for all those reasons.
First of all, we know the man personally, and he's probably one of the most honest and sincere people I've met in crypto in a very, very long time.
Yeah, I love that guy.
Like, I met him 2 years ago at XRP, and we met for like 10 minutes. And I just walked away from the conversation going, man, I hope that dude is exactly who I think he is. And then the next year, which was last year, he just walks up to me like, "Hey, dude, how you been, man? What's going on?" And I'm like, I know who you are. I'm shocked. He didn't, I don't even think he remembered me from the year before. He didn't know my channel for sure. And I was just like, yeah, man. Hey, what's going on, dude? We're just talking. I said, hey, you got to meet my son, man. He's right here. Here, Quincy, meet this dude. And like, you two hit it off. We're best friends at the end of the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's who these people are. When you see the sincerity and the genuineness of these people building these projects, you just absolutely know they're going to win. These people are winners.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're part of something really big here. And XDC is.
Oh, yeah.
It's my favorite long shot coin is XDC, I think. I don't know. I got so many.
Yeah, Shrimp, Quant also, if you don't know about them, study XTC and study Quant.
Yeah. Quant's one coin I don't own, actually.
Sith Lord, great to see you. I never purchased Caspa. I own Harmony One. And then no, I've never been on eHarmony. Not really my speed. I'm more of a match guy, I guess, or what's the other one? What's the other damn one that I'll never?
You just froze right there.
Did I? Oh, that's good. It's good because I was talking about dating sites. Hinge was the one I gave a shot, and cool site, cool people and all, but not gonna do it that way. Not gonna do it that way. We're gonna go. Some things you got to just stay old fashioned on, and
yeah,
man, Caspa, I dug in hard on Caspa Sith, and incredible, just an incredible project. Yeah, it's like, what do you aim at? We got to get back to Ted too, Dad. Tell us about your son's coin. Coin he launched in May, bro. Yeah, we would love to discuss that with you.
Yeah. I've got
G-Man's in the house. Todd's in the house.
There's so many great projects.
There's so many great projects, man.
So, by the way, I know Northern Living asked about trust outside of the U.S. I happen to know that is completely possible, and I'm working on it with them now. So don't quote me, but I'm not sure that it's going to matter what nation you come from. But we'll see.
That will be in.
I know you can do them through if you live in Dubai. I know somebody's doing that. And I want to say the other person lives in Ireland. But
that will be one of the questions.
UAE. Sure. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, to what degree? Oh no, somebody gave Simon a wrench? No way. Revoke that immediately.
Boom. Boom. You deserve a wrench. You're wrench worthy, my friend. I love the shorts, by the way. Check out Simon Says Crypto shorts, guys. I've never seen Simon do a bad short, ever. Ever. Just check him out. Uh-oh, you're frozen on my end, Dad. It's a blackout, everyone. Right before winter. Uh-oh, Dad, can you hear me? Let us know in the chat, everybody, if you can still see and hear both of us. It's a happy shot at Dad, at least. That's a good one. Yeah, at least he's smiling. Exactly. All right, let's do it, baby. We got to double down on what I said in the beginning. Because
Hello.
I got a hand for you. There he is.
Sorry, guys. I had to switch internets. I guess it was me. We're good now.
We should have screenshotted that. Totally, Melissa.
What
That was
was
a
it?
great shot of you, Dad.
It was?
Yeah, it was a good one.
I was picking my nose again on the air.
Uh-huh.
Nice. Love it.
I like the thumbnail we're using for this. I've been working on it forever. But if y'all have any ideas on new ones for us, we want to switch it up and have fun with it. Joanna's doing some really cool ones for us, too. Thank you for that, my dear. What do we got in the chat, everybody? Hey, Frankie, what's up? Glad to be refreshing.
We have those photos you and I shot together here that were pretty good, Brent.
Yeah, we do. I'll use that one more. Hey, Ron, we love you too. So announcement on that, everybody, because we through technology and our own chimpanzee ways, we just continued to not mail each other cards, bad internet. It is so time to hear from the crew. It's beyond and past. And now we're here in the present. So we mailed the video cards off to Ron and his editor because we want the pros to do it. He should have had it from the beginning. But we were, it was new for us because we've been doing guerrilla style on this thing since the beginning. But now, just like all this other stuff, we gotta reach out for help. And it was a great decision to do that, Dad, because we want Ron involved too. We want Ron in our life, and we trust them, and they're, again, our other best friends we met in Vegas. So we're just we're thrilled to have you guys with us, man.
Yeah.
And we're really trying to be like you on doing the video in a couple weeks here. We're gonna channel our inner Ron.
Yeah. We also, since everybody's here in the chat here today, Brent and I, before we forget, we're going to do a meetup this coming weekend at Brent's house in the cool little town. He lives in a town called San Luis Obispo. And we're going to do a meetup, and we're going to shoot some video. So we're going to kind of interview some people, the people of crypto, kind of like we did in Vegas. So we're going to do a couple of those while we're there and just get to know everybody. So if you're in the area, get a hold of us and swing by. It's going to be fun. We're going to, just go out to dinner and just really share each other's stories about how you got into crypto, how you got into finance, what made you get into sound money. How come you're so smart now and everybody else around us is just so stupid? That's mainly what we're going to talk about. Yeah. How cool we are and like they're not mostly. Yeah. That's the game plan. Yeah. That's what people do now is talk crap about others, I guess. I don't know. We won't do much.
So Atlantic, man, you've been an advocate of this too. So we're going to do the 5 videos that we shot with the people. That's going to be edited on their end, and then we'll post those as they come. And then I have the card still of all the footage from the party and all of that. And I would love to generate an awesome video for us on that. We can talk about it, but just maybe even just an unedited, just the crew experience, let it rip.
Yeah.
So we'll get into that.
Joanna has a good point here. I guess we have some stuff on Instagram. I wouldn't know.
We do. Thanks to Joanna.
That's cool. Yeah. Let's see. Atlantic Living he sent me something. about Mr. Larson and his decision to back Kamala. And,
Oh boy.
I just really want to say this to everybody. I'm not really a political person, but if I had my druthers, it wouldn't be her. So you can just figure out how that would go. I don't necessarily, I don't think either one of them are going to be great for all of mankind. I do feel that one of them's a whole lot better than the other. And I think that person actually does care more about what's happening to America. For some reason, the DC gang has forgotten that we all exist. And it seems like they want to take more care of Europe or people on the other side of the border than it does the people inside the border. And I find that very frustrating because I hear about it a lot. And I understand people's emotions about it because people are very emotional about it. But I also want to say this. The most important thing about freedom is freedom. And you can't rail against somebody else's freedom and expect that you want to live in a free world. So somebody else's choice is their freedom, despite whether you like it or not. If you truly, truly believe in freedom, then you should be open to everybody else's having a 180-degree different opinion and thought as to leaders, thought concepts, wars, math, all the above. You cannot rail against people if you truly believe in everybody has free living.
Mm-hmm.
So remember that. And a lot of people screw that one up. Oh, I want everybody to be free like I want freedom. Oh, is that it? Oh, okay. So we're all going to live with your angle. And that'll make everybody happier and freer, right? If we all think like you do. That's not freedom. That's dictatorship, and that's not working. So we need more freedom and respecting Mr. Larson's opinion. Now, on a strategic side, you probably saw in the video that I shot the other day, I hope he got something out of it. I hope there was a little prize under the tree this winter, this Christmas, that we're going to get for his endorsement. I don't know. That's typically the way it works. So maybe there's something really good for us all under the tree this year. That's all I'm saying about that. Because, sometimes corruption works in your favor. You just never know what side of the corruption you're going to be on, right?
Mm-hmm.
And who knows? I mean, let's not kid ourselves as to what crypto came from. It came from Silicon Valley, right? She's from Silicon Valley. There's some incestual
There's some connections.
I don't know. We don't know. Yeah. The person I'd like to ask is Mr. Brad Garlinghouse. I'd like to look him in the eye and go, hey, what do you think about old Larson going that angle? That's what I'd like to ask. And he will be publicly asked that question coming up, I'm sure of it. Yeah. Yeah.
I got a really cool angle this week. Check this one out. Check a little XRP shout out here. They're partners with Accenture. Accenture is advertising, or so we saw in the first NFL game this week, all over that. And then the very next day, you've got a game in Brazil. Why would you have a game in Brazil? Just ask it. It's just a question, really. It's just a question. And it just kind of, the answers that start to come to mind are the partnerships that the ultra wealthy are building. That's what your point on all that just reminded me of, Dad. It's like,
yeah,
who's really on the side of the people is always a huge question. And I still really believe, I even over the big government, big industry, big money on the sideline, and shorting all our crypto and all the rest of it. I still think the real adoption is going to be when people use it. There wouldn't be a market for smartphones or computers if people didn't get use out of them or didn't like them or didn't enjoy having them.
Yeah.
And for crypto to be made so easy, and for companies like Ripple and who they've partnered with and who their partners are and what their partners are doing, is going to be huge, and it's going to be global, and it's going to be a face melter. There's just, I love the point you made in your last video, Dad. That's, I'm not on the side either of the whole, this whole market's just going down in flames. I see people run into crypto. You made the point about China. You and I have been talking about the Chinese real estate bubble forever. What are you going to run to? Okay, when things, when a bunch of money gets pumped into the system and people got money again, are you going to go back and buy houses? No, 2 generations just got nuked doing that.
Yep.
They got burned, man. So now what assets do you go buy? You go buy the future. You go buy what everybody's going to use.
They're about to legalize crypto in China, the purchase of individuals. What they're trying to do, I don't know if many of you know this, that it's not inside baseball or anything, but they're trying to get it to where everybody in China can buy US stocks. They can't do that. You can do it a little bit through Hong Kong, but that's it. Like, you can't go to Shanghai and walk up and go, I want to buy Apple stock. They make the phone at Apple in the factory in China, but they can't even buy the stock. That's coming. And it's a deal they're working out. And it's a little side deal, because here's why they want to do that. China has decided many years ago that they were going to quit buying bonds, right? US Treasury bonds. They did that. I think they've been selling US Treasuries since about 2017, I want to say. No, it was before that, 14, 15. So they've been selling US Treasury bonds and not really adding more. Well, something happened, because I said on this video not too long ago that they just bought $58 billion worth of US Treasuries. And everyone's like, well, wow, that's weird. They've been selling for almost 10 years now. And all of a sudden they started buying. Why? Why are they doing that? Well, China's in worse shape than everybody thinks they are financially. So they're not ready to back the whole world on the yuan. They can't. They don't have the liquidity. To be the new dollar, you have to pay all the dollar debts. Well, if you took all the dollar debts, they don't have enough yuan. It doesn't work. So it's going to take a long time of transition if you believe the BRICS are going to be the future global currency. I don't. I think it could happen, but I think it's going to be quite a while. So let's go back to the Chinese people. So evidently the deal they made was, hey, why don't you let these people just go ahead and freely buy these, crypto and the FANG stocks? That would be nice. We'd like to see the Dow go to 100,000, and we'd like to see the NASDAQ shoot through the roof. And since your people are going to be getting back to work because the dollar's in decline, because that makes everybody else's economy stronger, we're going to start dropping interest rates in our country, which makes our dollar weaker, and it's going to fortify the economies of the world. We're all in this together, so you scratch my back, I scratch your back, and then your people are going to get back to work. What are they going to do with the profits? As Brent just said, they're not going into real estate. I'm not going to single them out as necessarily a trait of them, but I will say they are progressive in their manner of trading. They're not. I'm not saying Asians are gamblers. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is they like to make a buck with a buck. The entrepreneurship of the Chinese people has been stymied for decades, and they're not those people anymore. These people aren't farmers. These people are getting sophisticated and they really know what they're doing with finances. And it's about to be turned loose on the world. I'm telling you, the stock market is not going to crash much because we got about 1 billion people that want to invest for their future. So they're going to be buying a bunch of stocks, they're going to be buying a bunch of crypto, and they're going to be buying, and they enjoy the huge profit gains, the 5Xs and the 10Xs, just as much as the rest of us do. And that's what's coming. Is it going to happen next week? No. But it is, yes, coming. Yeah. Everything crazy. I want to say this too. I was listening to Brad Kimes' show the other day, and he triggered something with me that I was writing down. I was writing out a show on a pad. Okay. Had this whole show in my head that I was going to shoot. And I turn on Brad's show, and it's exactly what I was writing on the paper. Like exactly what I was writing on the paper. I was laughing, going, look at this. Oh, he forgot to. Like on my list, I had 2 more points he didn't get. But essentially, it goes like this. XRP is not just a banker's coin. It's for banking. It's for liquidity. Okay? It's for market makers. It's going to be for annuities. It's going to be for treasuries. It's going to be the liquidity of all the tokens. Remember what Larry Fink said. We're going to tokenize Wall Street. We're going to tokenize all the stocks. When they open their little new thing in Texas, they're going to tokenize the world. Texas is going to be the new global place of trade, linked with Hong Kong, linked with Singapore, linked with Sydney. All of this is happening, okay? Outside of what I'm going to call Belgium, if you will, know what I mean by that, okay? And they're going to hub this thing because it's going to be digital, and anybody in the world is going to be able to buy it, and you're going to be able to not just buy and sell on that market. When everything's tokenized, you're going to be able to go peer to peer, and you're going to ace the commission in between because of the liquidity of coins such as XRP. Because that coin is a chameleon, and it can become anything you want it to be in between the time that it goes from point A to point B. Mm-hmm. And it's massive. It's massive. Really big, guys. So when I don't talk about how it, like, I don't talk about XRP every day in my show anymore, and people are like, well, you never bring up our coin anymore. It's like, we won. You won.
Yeah, we won.
You're a winner. It's not if anymore, it's when. Yeah. And so that's why we're moving on with, what do you do now? Because you're about to be wealthy. Yeah. Do you understand that, right? I've seen your portfolios. Some of you people tell me the coins you have, and I'm like, dear God, do you have any idea the wealth that's coming to you?
Yeah.
You are wealthy. Okay. Mm-hmm. It's about to happen to you. Now it's time for you to pull your pants up and say, how do I keep it? What am I going to do to make sure I don't go poor the rest of my life because this windfall is coming to me? That's where we're headed. What's my exit strategy? Well, I don't know. Well, I got to come up with one. Well, I just told you can't really do it on a spreadsheet. It's too many moving parts. And I'm not a financial planner. And I don't plan on going back to school to get that. Used to be at one time in my life, but I don't plan on doing that. What I plan on doing is you and I can figure it out. You figured out to buy the best coin on the planet or coins on the planet. You can figure it out. You don't need anybody from Wall Street. That guy's just going to get in your back pocket and be there the whole time that you have accounts with those people. And I really believe that's why they're going crypto exchange in Texas, to get us out of Wall Street and the manipulation, the corruption of that mess that they call. I mean, anyway, don't get me started on that. I was about to go down a really bad We're not doing that.
That was really well said, Dad.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Mizuno golf clubs. What?
Yeah, I love Mizuno.
Yes. Sudden wealth syndrome.
So,
It's no bueno.
uh-huh.
That you are going to screw it up. Been
Becky
there.
had a good question, Dad.
Yeah.
Who's going to bail out the Fed?
Who's going to bail? Well, okay. Okay, now I'm on one here.
Yeah, let's have it.
Okay. First of all, there's a million ways to get rid of the Fed.
Mm-hmm.
The first way I would do it, and I probably have said this before, all of us as a people just say, oh, you mean you guys, the 35 trillion we owe you? Take a hike. Who are you? We don't even know who you are. Oh, we know who you are. But you're telling me that you were good for the 35 trillion and you gave it to us out of your bank account? No, you didn't. You printed that out of thin air and we all know it. So you really didn't have the money. So why did you charge us $35 trillion to use your fake money? How about your 15 families that created the Fed? We just tell you that, you know what, man, we're not paying it back. What are you going to do about that? Are you going to get the 15 families together and, go on the warpath and come skin us? What? No, I don't think that's what you're going to do at all, is it? I know you got control of the armies, and I know all the three-letter agencies that you empower, and I get all that. But if the people understood what I just said, they just would slowly stop listening to anything that happens in, the city of London, the city of New York, and in particular, the city of Washington, D.C. And we live our lives outside of it. And the fewer moments that you spend in their system and within your own system, like I was saying earlier, peer-to-peer, we don't need them. We're there. We're so close. And yet everybody still thinks I need the system. You don't. Ignore the system. They haven't done anything for you personally in decades. I don't know if you figured it out, but they're not your friend and they're not helping you.
No.
Now, the Fed, you can pay them off. That's the other thing. That's the other thing you could do. Just say, hey, we're going to settle up. You guys ride off now. Never to ever do this again. This is not, we want a peer-to-peer system. I want to loan money. I don't know about you guys. I want my inside my trust. I want to have money working for me all the time. Well, who owns all the money? People do. We don't need banks. We don't need their system. We can trade outside of it. And peer-to-peer is the best way. Decentralized peer-to-peer system is coming. Again, that opens up a whole bag of worms because then you end up with coins like the XRP and some other coins that are really fortifying the whole banking institutions. So you're going to have some hard decisions to make going forward. Some of these coins are going to pan out and some of these coins are going to be, wow, this is not really in my best interest any longer to support that system, that way of doing things. And then like Becky just printed, Jimmy Valley's done a whole 4-year study on exactly what it would mean for all of us to cash in your XRP to become the new monetary system on the planet. The downside of that is exactly what I was saying earlier. It's you become more of the system. Yeah.
That's what I like about what we're studying right now is we've talked about ownership, right? So much with crypto and in ways that it's very valuable to take on a system like that, where you're the boss, you're the owner, but then to get outside of said government and our own system, it's funny to learn you don't want ownership, you want control.
That's right.
You don't want to be in the targets of the law. You just do not. Because, like you said, Dad, we all know this to be true. It's
Oh yeah.
why we started this, why we have the group that we do. All of us deep down are, you know, conspiracy theorists against what the lizards and reptiles are doing to us. And so it behooves us to have control and not be a target of the system, the current system, and how that current system evolves, because it'll probably never go away.
Totally agree.
But what can we create? What can we create together and insulate ourselves from together? And that's, man, that's the most exciting thing we talk about together, Dad, is just how we all do that with all of you. Bring up something from earlier too. We've learned a lot from all of you. You know, like I remember years back, you know, Dad was like, yeah, no, I'm looking at XRP, man. Look at what that is. But you all got us really staring at it and studying it, and sent us documents and sent us information. And now to us, it's like it's foregone conclusion with something like XRP. You guys are the winners. You're the winners.
Yeah.
The army, the family, that's a done deal.
Yep. I love this one right here. Totally. Chris is laying it down today. Love it.
Yeah, go Chris, go.
I say this a lot, and it's so true. The answer to tyranny is crypto.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to try and use crypto for tyranny, but the answer to tyranny is also crypto. It's really important that we know that. They're going to put things on the blockchain, which was the old history, which is what they wrote, and say, oh, everybody knows this is fact, future going forward. I don't want to get too far off path, but basically the, Britannica encyclopedia, well, that's what we know is reality. No, it isn't. That's your form of reality. We've all been told that's what is. It's like, yeah, okay. So, I don't think any of that in there is exactly how the story went. And, how it goes. The people that win the war get to write the book, right? But the downside to all of that is they're going to try and put that information into the blockchain of what is real, what is our past, what really is your history. And I love this reference, and I use it all the time, and it's so good because we all lived through it, and it wasn't that long ago. I want everybody as a person to ask yourself, how are the history books going to be written about the first 6 months of the year 2020? Because depending on who wrote it and the way it was written, that was my life. I know what they were trying to tell me to think and believe. And I know what the history books are, what they're going to want to print as to what happened. And that's, oh, we all had to do this, or we all had to do that. And that's fact. And the rest of all that other people that I was listening to who were making more sense than those people aren't going to be in the book. So now ask yourself, of all the things that have been written about the history of man, put it in that context and ask yourself, well, who wrote it and how factual was it? It's big because we lived through a very big year there. That 6 months, that first 6 months when they said, oh, you're just going to be locked down for 2 weeks. Oh, right. Yeah. That's not what happened.
No,
not what
it's
happened.
not.
Yeah. And the shot didn't cure everybody.
There's a lot that's going to be coming out about all that. A lot.
I'm just saying, didn't cure everybody.
It's
So they're going to say it did. The book will say it did because they wrote it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it was, Frankie.
Yeah. It's yeah, and I mean that's it. They, they will attempt to manipulate, and probably especially through taxes, crypto.
Yeah.
And so how do we all get outside of that? How do we do it the way that wealthy people have been doing it for a very long time? Um, using the old ways of doing things, but also the new strategies that we can come up with together to write this shit, man. Not just for us, but then it's always ground up, right? They get us
Yeah.
thinking about big government. Well, I can't talk politics anymore. It's ground up. It's you all are doing this for yourselves and your friends and your family.
Yeah.
The people directly around you, and the communities that you're a part of, and that we can make a difference in. We are making a difference in it. You
Yeah.
all made a difference in it for me.
Yeah.
Um,
We used that story not long ago to prove it to people, because people like to say, "Oh no, government just tells us what we have to do, and we have to just do it." No, that ain't how it goes. Because let's remember, people have been wanting Bitcoin or crypto to be forefront in mainstream for a long time. All of us have, right? But what happened in Nashville? Two presidential candidates thought, "Oh, there's a big enough market here because the 50 million people that have wallets are voters." That's what happened there. If there was 5 million people, there was no way those two candidates would have been talking about crypto. You made them talk about crypto. They didn't decide, "Hey, I got this cool idea. I'm going to start talking about crypto." See what I mean? You made that happen. We made a difference. We made political systems stand up and understand what it was. And we have that all the time. We have it all. It's within your control always. The energy of this planet and this universe has nothing to do with the politician. Zero. Most of them are on the opposite end of the spectrum of creation. If you notice, politicians never create anything. Governments don't create things. They get great young minds who are inventors, and then they capture them and they have them work in their industrial complex, but they don't have any good ideas. Yeah. It's so, and yet there we say ignorant people, I'm going to call them that. They're not ignorant, they're just misled. They call government employees, people or in high ranking positions, the leader of men. No, they're not. They're not. Like, I just proved to you, those two guys did not lead us to crypto. We led him there, both of them. You're the leader of men. Men lead men.
That's right.
Man, I should say, not just men, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's really important for us to remember that, guys. You have, I like to say this, and it's so true. One man connected to source, God's love, light, is more powerful than millions who are not. The millions of people who are not connected or not listening, right, to what God's telling you, they're lost. They're running around chasing the next cool thing. Cool thing, they're not.
Pogs and slammers.
Right.
Pet rock.
That's it. You and I are connected because we listen. We take the time to listen to our fellow man and their needs and their desires. And when you start doing that, you hear what's in their heart and you hear what's really necessary. What do they want? They want a roof. They want it warm in the house when it's cold, and they want it cold in the house when it's warm, and a full belly. And that's really about all we need to focus on. We don't need to focus on all this other crap that they get us all messed up and sideways with it.
Divided.
Yeah.
Divided we fall.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to empower the crew with that. There are going to be so many people that never see this channel. Ever. More people will not ever see the Staple Crew channel by a long shot than people that will. It's up to you. It's up to you, Weps. It's up to you.
That's it.
That's how we make change.
Yeah, that's it.
And I wish I still believe that we can make change in politics. Wish that. But it's so divided, and it's so equal and opposite reactions. It's disheartening. It's disheartening in the country that I grew up in, and for a country that has so much influence and innovation, for it to just not feel right, for people to believe that they're being led. No, you're the leaders. You're the leaders. That's what we all get to try to be together.
Yeah, that's right.
Could that be any more empowering? That's where the wealth is. Like who brought up they put their phone under their bed, so they didn't check the crypto prices. Yeah, my personal evaluation of the crypto that I own, way more valuable than the price of it today. Period. So much more valuable that it's my financial plan for the future, and how to personally make my own system that we all get to work on together. And just you got to completely flip your brain around. That's why I love, like, Todd's reading the IBC book. The first 40 pages just turns your brain around, man.
It does.
And then you run on this really cool concept, and what they're doing is like, wow.
And stop listening to people who are reading 1 hour charts. I'm sorry. That's not it. You didn't buy crypto to double your money. You just didn't. You bought crypto because the end game is total change of the financial network. That's what you bought it for. I know you may not know that yet, but the fact that we all want some form of honest, sound calculation and ledger is a noble thing to want from something that's as important as you work your entire life for something that they can create out of nothing. Like, that game's over, man. There's way too many people that get that, including everybody in this chat. We figured it out that you have lied about what money is for way too long. Currency, I should say. The gold bugs are going to jump in on what money really is. But the currency, you've manipulated it to the point where it's become a clown show. And now we see through it. And there's more people that see through it. So now, with an honest ledger, they're in a lot of trouble. They got a lot of explaining to do.
Yeah, they do, Ricky.
Yeah. And it's not going to be easy for them. Like, I wanted to get down this, but I'm going to do it in a different show. But this whole thing is exploding. I'm just going to light the fuse here, guys. You guys really need to look at George Gammons did a show with a guy recently, and then Chris Mortensen did a show just the other day, and it's the same guy, and he's a guy out of Texas, and he's basically he's shining the light on the darkness that is property taxes. And it's going to absolutely collapse the municipal bond market. And they know it. The whole thing is a Ponzi scam. The fact that you're paying through I can only speak about America. The fact that you're paying through the nose for more and more and more property tax, and then they're coming up to you after your father's lived in his home for 50 years, and they walk up and they've raised his property tax to the point where he can't live there on his pension, that when he retired, he was set for life. And then all of a sudden they raise the property tax so much he can't stay up with it. And then they're coming and evicting the man from his 50-year home. That's unacceptable. That is not caring for the man who built this nation on his back. The farmer's being treated the same way. They're coming after the farmer because the farmer can't keep up with these massive farms and these giant dairy cattle, and they can't compete. And what they're doing is they're crushing them with their property tax, and it's being exposed. The entire thing's a Ponzi scheme. The school districts are all upside down. They're all broke, and the people that are going around appraising these values, you better be damn honest about what you're doing, because it's not looking good for you guys. You have inflated the value of these properties beyond the people's ability to pay them. And like Linda said here, it's a property grab, and that's exactly what they're doing. And not only is it not unlawful, it's fraudulent. They don't have the right to do that. And it's really sad. It's really sad. And I don't even want to go back to the 16th Amendment, because if you start looking into what that really says and what the courts really kind of ruled about it in the 1930s, which is exactly what Ms. Kamala is trying to pull again, because that's what Biden wanted to do, was these unrealized taxes on unrealized profit, is exactly, think about this, guys. What do you think the property assessor is doing to you at that time? He's taxing you on unrealized gains. He's telling you that, oh, because of the comps in our neighborhood, your house is now worth this much more, and now you have to pay that much more. And you're like, well, wait a minute. I haven't realized that capital gain yet. Oh, but we're going to tax you on it. It's not lawful. I'm telling you, this whole thing is coming to a head, and it's terrible. One of these days, I'm going to get the guy's name, but he basically has a form where he wants everybody in the U.S. anyway to file this form and to submit it into his hardware so that he has everybody's support on this, because he's going to take it all the way to the Supreme Court. It's very interesting, and it's amazing stuff, and you're going to hear a lot about it coming up. But the municipal bonds of all these municipal counties have not been paying their bonds back for decades now. And what happened was, that was cool when it was at 0% interest rate. But in the last couple of years, they've gotten up into the 5s and the 6s, and now it's become obvious because people have bought these munis, and now they think they're going to get this 5 and 6% interest rate return on them, and they're not getting those returns. And they're saying, well, wait a minute, like they didn't have to pay any money when it was zero, and so they've gotten lazy and not paying their principals back on any of these munis, because why? They could just buy them back because it was just free money, because it was 0%. Well, now they can't do that anymore, and they're getting exposed to the fact that they were never profitable. They were never able to pay that back. And the municipalities, all they kept telling everybody in the public was, we got to start a lotto and we got to get more money into the school districts. That's what everybody said. Just throw more money at the school. The U.S. is like 27th in education, and we spend more per student than any other country in the world by 3 times. And you ask yourself, why? What's going on over there? The whole thing's a mess, and the house of cards is coming down. I didn't want to go back. I didn't really want to get into that, but that's what's going on right now, guys. So
that was the one thing I had written down to ask you about today, Dad. I'm glad you.
It's big. Yeah.
Wow.
It's big, guys. Anyway, they have them. They have all the documents. They have all the records. And essentially, what I'm trying to get down to is the bottom line is they've overassessed people to the tune of tens, if not $50 trillion to American citizens over the last decade or two. And there's no rhyme or reason for it. And where did the money go? I'll let you all speculate on what they did with it. But it didn't go to paying the teachers. That much I know. Wow. It's bad. I don't know where it went. Wow. It always goes up. Remember, it always goes up. Yeah.
Yeah, Joanna, let's throw those two videos up. I want to see the one Joanna's talking about with Reggie Middleton and Sarah Westall. But yeah, this one Dad's talking about with George Gammons and Chris Mortensen. I always love checking those two out.
Those two are different shows.
Those different shows?
Yeah. Okay. But the George Gammon one, I think, had 150,000 views. And I was like, oh, I might want to watch that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was really good.
That's wild, man.
Your friend who appraises stuff might want to watch that one.
Yeah, I'll send it to him. I want to hit on this. Ted's cooking today too. We asked, and we want to support the crew. Sounds like this is the project that your son's working on. Email us any info you have on it, Ted, and we'll check it out. Sleeper bot, baby. Let's go.
I could.
Yeah, Slave. Good point on what I was talking about, man. The only way you change politics really is to join them and get on the inside.
The other channel is
try to do what we're doing.
The other channel is Peak Prosperity, Joanna, with Chris Mortensen. He just did it the other day. I like the George Hammond one, was a little better. They were both really good. Chris Mortensen's awesome.
He is awesome.
I don't agree with all of his opinions, but I do love his research. He looks into things deeply.
Yep.
Yeah. We were going to kind of make today's show a little shorter today too, weren't we? Let's kind of get out of here at a decent hour.
Yep. Yep. Anything else you got, crew? Shout it out.
Ted,
thank you, Joanna.
Yeah, the Reggie video. I saw the one you sent me like 2 weeks ago, Joanna. It was really good. Really good. He's going to end up with a big slice of pie one day. I don't know when, but he is going to. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, Brent, maybe we should get moving. Do you have any like closing thoughts for everybody, or what do you got going on?
Yeah, like Chris said, gratitude always.
Always.
Thank you all for this community that we all get to share. We're getting to work on the trust thing. We've been at work on the IBC thing, and any crypto stuff you guys have, shoot it to us. Projects, news, our Twitter community, X, is getting really cool. It's really fun to be in there, and there's so many people from the crew in there. People that we've met that aren't in the lives, who I think you'd all really enjoy. Not pumping the channel. It's just another cool way to kind of connect and see what information's out there. I ended up liking X a lot more than I thought I would. I just thought it was just a horrific, chat room, which it sort of is. But our stuff, it's just super positive, and it's just like this. We're just trying to illuminate each other on crazy stuff going on. Can't wait to check out those videos. Um,
Haley, don't, if there's a blackout or a internet crash, don't touch your wallet. Let it blow over. Wait till the internet all comes back. Don't try and scramble and start messing around with stuff. That's not a good way to do it. I also recommend that you go get with Caleb and Brown. Don't put all your coins on Caleb and Brown, people. Please don't do that either. Don't get a percentage of them over there, because they always have, in the last 5 years, whenever when Coinbase shut down, Caleb Brown never did. You could always get your coins in or out anytime you wanted. So, yeah, I do recommend those guys. Yes, and don't give your seed phrase to anyone. Contact me, contact Brent, contact Simon. Like, even if it's fully legit and you think it's completely legit, email me. I'll give you my phone number. Email me, and that way you'll have my phone number. And right before you're about to give your seed phrase to somebody, call me. I don't care if it's the middle of the night. Call me and say, hey, Alan, this totally looks legit, man. I'm about to make a bunch of money. All I have to do is give them my seed phrase. Before you give the seed phrase, call me and I'll figure it out whether or not it's legit. Because it's probably not. In fact, I know it's not. Let's just go with that. Yeah. Yes, a lot of great advice in here.
divide, diversify, love it.
Yep. Everybody's all good in here.
Any last thoughts, Dad?
I do. I'm really excited about where we're going. Again, when I talk about helping everybody with their financial futures, I could just give you the name and the number of the firm. And like I said earlier, I'd get a commission. I could just put a link down below and you could just go directly to them. But let me explain what's going to happen in a different world, in the world in which our group is in. It's going to be you, me, and an individual from the company, or me, you and Brent, and an individual in the company. And we're going to do a Zoom call together. And you're going to have that. I'm going to know your circumstances, not your financials, your circumstances. I'll have gone through the process with you. Now we have a bond where we have an agreement between each other that I know that you're this person and you got it. What's going to happen if I just put a link down below and I just get some commission and I don't know anything that you did with this individual or the company? That's not what I call service. That's not what I call a group. That's not what I call a family. We're all in this together. I'm not in this to like just send you to the wolves. That's not what we're doing here, man. I don't even care if we only have 20 people that ever sign up for this thing. Now I'm good with it. Cool. Done.
Yeah.
That's for me. But I think it's going to be a few more than that. But if that's the tight knit group that we end up with, we're going to have a group and where I know where you stand, you know where I stand, and then we can find ways to do residual income and other things that we can do together as a whole. And when you do that, you all succeed, because when I see things happen today, the reason why Becky ended up having the trouble she did, because she was alone. Yeah. When we have a whole group and somebody messes with one of us in the group, like if Todd gets in trouble or Joanna gets in trouble somewhere in our group, there's 20 or 30 of the rest of us are going to go, oh, you know what? I have an account there too. Let me call them. Let me call them. Let me call those people. Hey, what are you doing to Becky? What are you doing to Todd? Why are you doing that? There's power in numbers, and we got to stay together. And I just think it's so huge. And I know we have more power together than just me just sending you to the wolves. It's like, now you're a Lone Ranger against a corporation. That's not what we're doing here. We're having fun, and we're going to grow rich together. Clearly, you bought the right coins. Yeah. That's my closing statement.
I love it. Let's help each other. Call us. We don't have anything better to do, honestly, than we don't want to have to come on here and be like, oh man, they lost it all and we got to help them out. It's like, no, it's like we want to help you avoid that. We want to avoid that ourselves. If you don't trust us, call Simon. That's who I would call if I had an issue, even over my dad. Yeah. I would call Simon.
Yeah.
So if you have his contact, and reach out to him too.
All right, B-Man, we got to roll.
All right, everybody.
I love you all. Thank you all so much for being here, and we're having a lot of fun, and we're going good places. So don't be too discouraged. I know the old man tripped at the top of the staircase, and the price fell all the way down to the bottom again, and I know, I get it. We've all been there. But remember in my last video, I said, that's when the big boys start coming in, is when they see a vulnerable market. They never come in when the top. And they're going to start buying crypto when Bitcoin's a 70. No, that's not what they do. All right, guys. Adios. I love it.
Adios, my friends.
Muchachos.